Five, four, three.
Welcome, RoundTable family, to another exciting episode of the Sports RoundTable Trio Edition, Season 2. I'm your host, Rowdy, of course, is joined by always my co-host, Big Boy, and little bro, Coop. Big Boy with the little nice light behind him. Now a little new backdrop he's got. Let's see it, Big Boy. Let's see it.
Hold on, shit.
Without breaking it.
It's a bright ass light though.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't see.
There we go. I
Seems
can tell what it is though.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like the #1 team in the country is what it looks like.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Well, boys, how are we doing? You know, it was a interesting week in the college football NFL landscape, and especially more the NFL wise. A lot of stuff. We'll recap all those games for you, and we'll look ahead on what's to come this upcoming weekend with the hurricane coming in as well. So, but how are we doing, guys?
Pretty good, man. I just got back from Oklahoma, went and saw Tennessee go and beat Oklahoma's ass. So it was a pretty good weekend, man.
I sure did see you taking pictures on the field like you were just a common freaking student over there. So
no, I took
chill
pictures
out with that.
I took pictures on the field because I'm Cooper from the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition.
Okay, well,
So
you sure were.
Get that straight.
Sure, we're smiling big time, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I also had a couple of
cocktails
to go with it. This game day was an early one at 7 a.m. and then cocktails until 7 p.m. So it is what it is.
Oh, that Oklahoma, man, they have some struggles. They got some things they got to work on, man. Their defense is cold. Like I've been telling you, I like their defense, but I don't know. I heard there's some more linemen that are hurt.
Yeah.
So, and their quarterback, what are they going to do there?
They got a corner that just moved to the wide receiver.
Oh, really?
Still hurt. Saw a stat. They have 12 scholarship wide receivers. 6 of them are currently hurt, and they're all 6 like they're dudes besides Deion Burks, which he even got hurt for a little. He even got hurt for a little bit this past game.
Yeah.
But about that game too, we'll stay on it. Obviously, a big thing on Twitter. Obviously, Jackson Arnold bench in the second quarter. Freshman now
from Allen,
Mike Hawkins, and at QB going into Auburn this weekend. But
is he a freshman or a redshirt freshman?
True freshman. He's a
true freshman.
Yeah.
I don't know why these people expect it to be much better. Because at this point, his legs may be able to help, but that's only going to last like 2 games, and teams are going to either hurt him or be able to stop it. And at that point, it's just going to turn into kind of, he may be able to make better decisions than Jackson, but the offensive scheme, people, especially I was listening to Joel Klatt, and he was just roasting how bad the RPO scheme system is. It's just set up for failure, how bad it is. And it just doesn't blend well with what they have. And their O-line, obviously, we know sucks. And even with their historic O-line coach, who's one of the best in the nation, puts all these dudes in the NFL, it's just not clicking whatsoever. And the wide receivers too. So it's something where OU fans better let them take some time. But that's the tough part. Is they turn so fast on Jackson like that. I mean, you can't turn fast on this dude. You got to ride it out this guy at this point, or you're going to turn into Auburn where you're going back and forth, and it could be a shit show, especially going into Auburn this week. Then you got to bye. Then you got the Red River. I mean,
if Venerable had enough faith to let a 3-year starter leave, and in Jackson Arnold, if he had any faith in him, he would have let him continue going. I mean, so that's what's weird about it is you gave up a definite starter for this kid. Say, okay, it's time to give him the reins, and after
Yeah, because they burned his red shirt last year too. So he's a true sophomore.
Yeah.
At this point, so let's see. That would have been game 4. Yeah. But at this point, for his sake too, he may want to make a business decision and say, "Hey, I want my red shirt this year." At this point, so
just transfer.
So he doesn't lose a year at this point. If he plays in one more game this season, he's screwed, out of luck, and he sits the rest of the games. He loses a year, and then he's already a junior, and he's played 5 games. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be this weekend's big for the Lions down to 2.5. We just looked was 4.5. But it's big for those
On the
reasons.
road.
Which Auburn, they're going through
Auburn.
the same shit. Their defense isn't as good, but the same quarterback.
Auburn's horrible, so we'll see.
Good. But that's why it's big. Is like you can't go in there and one have honestly a close game and the quarterback struggle, and two definitely can't go in there and lose. If they go in there and lose to Auburn, the defense may not let the offense leave out of the state of Alabama.
Well, I think if you get a W, you get a W. Like when you're reeling like this, I don't care if it's ugly or pretty. If they get a W, then that's.
I think, yeah, if they can get a W, they get it. But the quarterback play has to have something at that point. Like,
well, then they'll have a bye week, and then it'll be Red River time. So,
interesting.
Go hang 60 on them.
No, I will give OU's defense some credit.
Yeah.
They stopped Tennessee's powerful offense to 25, which Tennessee
that was another thing.
They let up a little bit.
Another thing. Yeah. On Twitter, people are acting like, oh, all this. It literally saw it for one, whatever. They said that they showed the quote at the end of the game that Heupel talking to Nico about how they let up because it made sense. They didn't run their hurry up or fast paced offense at all in the second half. Because why would they do that? There's no point to keep doing that and giving OU chances the ball back more and more whenever they're already struggling. Because you keep there's no point. Your defense is playing good enough, or really their other team's offense just sucks that bad. They ran the ball like 25 times and they didn't run hurry up. If they wanted to, bro, they would have. OU's defense is good for sure, but if they would have kept running their normal offense, they would have scored more than 25 points. I strongly believe.
Yeah, numbers wise, they held Nico to 194 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions.
He didn't throw in the second half. Literally.
Yeah, I mean,
he was toasting their corners in the first half. They had those two or three massive plays.
But yeah, it's all going to come down to the quarterback play and the O-line play for them. They're bad.
I'm scared of running quarterbacks. I don't care how bad a team is. I don't care everything. If you got a running quarterback, that's something. Now, in the SEC, the linebackers are a lot faster.
They are.
And the safeties are a lot faster. So, we'll see if, what Auburn does. And then, of course, the Red River. But I like our chances so far. Unless this kid just goes out and throws for 350 and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's another one that we want to recap.
Just
here.
like A&M. I mean, A&M's in the same situation. It's kind of weird. These youngsters are just coming in saying, look, they're more athletic. They give them the shot. Like they just they're not trusting them.
Yeah, A&M beat Bowling Green by 6 at home. So
Bowling Green's no joke, but Bowling Green is not SEC caliber.
No.
So
not at all.
They have a lot of things and it's the same type of deal. Their defense is, I think Oklahoma's defense is better than A&M's.
I do too.
Nico had 7 pass attempts in the whole second half. I just looked.
Oh.
Just counted. And let's see how many drives they had. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you count the last drive of the game. That was 1 minute and 9 seconds long. 7 pass attempts on pretty much 6 drives, you could say. Like, they weren't passing. But, yeah.
I hope if we're in that position, Sark says, go for the jugular.
Passing it, yeah.
Just keep going.
Just
shove it down your throat.
Let Quinn go off.
Yep. No, A&M squeaked out a win. They're ranked, bro, but I just don't know. Their quarterback situation is going to be interesting too. Are they they're winning with he's a true freshman too. Marcel, I think, is a true freshman.
Marcel Reed, yeah.
Reed.
So, are they going to stick with him? And once Connor comes back, because they're winning right now.
He had 173 yards for 2 touchdowns. And he also had the most rushing yards on the team for 91.
That's what scares me.
Yeah.
No, Texas is
Just
going to
one of
have
those
their
things you
fair
can't
share
account
of
for.
running quarterbacks that they have to play for sure.
But also, I feel like Texas has faster linebackers this year too. So
They do. And I think their whole team is faster.
100%.
You know,
The whole
so
defense,
whole defense.
alone, yeah, is much faster.
Well, let's talk about. I mean, obviously not too much to talk about from that ULM, but ULM.
There's a lot to talk about.
What
Your
okay?
boy-
What do you want to talk about?
How do you think Arch did?
I think.
Okay, I saw a thing. If you were to grade Arch's performance on a grading scale, what would you give him first start?
Am I grading him as a first start ever, or am I grading him as open book? This is what I really think.
What do you really think? What do you grade him?
C.
You grade him a C for this game.
Yeah.
Why so low?
We threw for what, 50%? I
Yeah,
mean, he did have
15 for 29.
248, 2 picks. I mean, I think there were a lot of things. He missed Jaden Blue twice, which one of them was Jaden, I think. The other one, I mean, he missed him on a wheel route that he could have still been running. And that, he tried, he did. If you look back at Quinn, when Quinn's first year, like against Texas Tech and stuff, I'm going to use my gun because I think I can throw it. And he throws a pretty deep ball. Don't get me wrong. But it's the same thing. It's just like Quinn his first year, man.
It's experience. That's all it is.
Learning to use his check down. There's so many, both the picks, a couple of the incomplete downfield passes. His check down was wide open.
Yeah.
Wide open.
And he'll learn that.
I think he even gave him. They asked him. I think he said C or C plus is what he gave himself. I was going to say C plus, just because those throws he did have. I mean, obviously,
I think it was perfect. I think it was perfect for what we need.
And he only had one carry too. I mean, so it wasn't like he was scrambling and running the ball either. He was trying to make it happen with his arm. And obviously, I mean, defense gives up 54 total yards of passing, 42 of that to the starter, 57 total yards rushing for 2.3 yards a rush. I mean, we knew UL Monroe didn't really have an offense. Their starting quarterback over under was set at 75.5.
Booty from Oklahoma.
I was scared on which way to go for that. 75.5 is insane for a starting quarterback. But 40, not even close, 42. So I mean, defense played. Was there obviously we just watched like 15-minute highlights, and there's really just offense is all they kind of showed on that. From you watching it, defensive wise, what was like the one thing that you think needs to improve coming into?
I'm still worried about the rush defense. I think there is teams that will be able to run the ball. Besides that, it's hard to, really go in and don't ULM, they like literally came in the season ranked as the worst team in Division I. So, take that for what it's worth. I mean, they had won 2 games so far, but I think they had, out of the drives, they had like 7 or 8 3-and-outs. I love that. You know what I mean? They were giving the ball back to the offense. Ant Hill had a pick at the end of the game. They tried to throw that flea flicker. And to me, that was what I really liked too, is even though the game did not matter at all, and there were second and third teamers out there, they were still locked in and didn't get beat by that. And everyone was like, oh, why did they do that and all this? I think it's great because literally it did not matter at all. And all those kids were still locked in and we got a pick. So I think this team, like, mentally is like, come on, like, let's go. Like, everybody wants to play. Everybody, when they get in there, they're going to make their 4 or 5 plays a game count. They're on special teams. They're going to make sure they counts.
Yeah, I like how you brought that up because no matter who, like, what you are on the depth chart, and previous years, the University of Texas, they don't beat. I don't care if it's ULM. They don't beat them 51-3 in previous years. They don't. It just doesn't happen. So even with the backups coming in and playing like that, it's a good. I mean, that's like, you're a top dog. Like, that's what top dogs do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
So-
win big, and when you're supposed to. And I mean, we're going to get. I know, Mississippi State isn't. It's not, doesn't seem like it's going to be a very close game, but I just think, we have to keep that same mentality that everyone in the SEC is saying that y'all ain't nothing. Y'all don't know what this is about. And Sark's preaching that, and been preaching it all off season. So, I'm excited, man. I want to see what they can do with this next, stretch after, let's not look past Mississippi State, but you got OU, Georgia, and Vandy, and Vandy's playing decent. You have to go there. So any game on the road in the SEC is going to be big when we're coming in there. So
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, the Mississippi State spread is bigger than I saw. It's bigger than two of the games UT's already
it's
played.
like 35, I
Yeah,
think.
it's up there, and it's higher than two. Obviously, the Michigan, but
38 and a half.
it was over Colorado State's line, and then over
Michigan,
there was one more. Who they play last week besides before
ULM,
before ULM, Michigan,
UTSA.
UTSA. Yeah. It's over the UTSA line too.
I think I'd take the under on that, boys. I think Mississippi State would.
I mean, they're gonna have a new quarterback too.
Yeah,
Their guy's hurt,
because Chaffin's out. Yeah.
so
Hey, go take care of business. Have Quinn sitting. I don't know. What do you think about that? I think Quinn's going to play. I think
I think he needs to play.
I do too.
I think he needs to.
A lot of people say no, like, oh, just if he's good,
Yeah,
let him play. And the way he was moving around on the sidelines, and he just looks like he's ready to
let
play.
him play the first half, get back some game momentum going into the bye week. Obviously, bump up his stats a little bit, but really, I think the biggest thing is going into the bye week, just give him some game momentum. So then you can let him rest up during the bye week, and he doesn't have to get ready back up and start playing game like before OU game. Let him do it this week, and then let him rest more if he needs to.
Well, the thought is, though, if he tweaks it here and then he's set back another 2 weeks, so that's the thought on not even having him in there. But if he's good to go, I think he should. If there's any doubt, and to me, the way that they're kind of talking, I think he's going to play. I mean,
I think he's fine.
I think if it was a big game, he probably could have played against ULM personally. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not around anybody. So basically, I'm just guessing. But just by the way that Sark kind of said things, and
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I hope he plays, but I don't know.
Me too. I'll be there. First SEC matchup, I'm gonna be there. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's
So
3:30, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Quinn needs to play. Not only for that, but I think he still deep down wants to be in New York at the end of the year. So
He can still be there.
and he for sure can still be there, 100%. And honestly, he could probably miss this game and still be there if he plays well in the big games. But
Yeah.
I mean, the big games is probably the most important. But I think if he's ready, I think
He'd have to really ball out against Georgia and A&M and other games that are on big time. Because I think the Georgia game, of course, it's going to be a huge game. Everybody's going to watch, and I think the A&M game will, unless A&M just tanks.
I don't know. I think they could lose all of them and then still come to that game and still.
Oh, they're going to be ready. Don't get it wrong, but I'm just saying on the stage of everybody watching, I don't know if they're 4-9 or 4-7 or whatever. But I don't think they will be. I think they're better than that.
Yeah.
A couple other games real quick for college wise. Obviously big one was in Ann Arbor, Michigan bouncing back.
Yeah.
3-point dub against number 11 USC.
Looking
weird. Hey, Michigan has a defense, huh? Yeah, and look what So let's chill out on that. Maybe give Quinn a little respect.
Yeah, well, it's not even as much as defense. I mean, obviously holding 24 on Miller Moss I mean, 28 for 51, 283, 3 touchdowns and a pick. They ran for 21 carries for 96 yards. So, I mean, USC's offense didn't do too bad, but their defense, I mean, Michigan won with their quarterback going 7 for 12 for 32 yards passing. I mean, they had 46 carries for 290 yards, bro.
Their offense is bad.
Well, shout out Wolverine Chronicle because he called it. Because
yep.
Mullings had 17 carries for 159 and Edwards had 14 carries for 74. So.
And Orgy only had 13 for 43. So it wasn't like quarterback game was that much either. I mean, there was just straight Big Ten football running back just pounding down USC's throat.
I mean, Mullings was averaging 9.4 yards a carry. So
we'll see. Hopefully Michigan can just keep rolling. I mean, they got Minnesota this week at home again, then Washington. So hopefully they can get rolling before they have to play some of these other teams. Another Big Ten one, Friday night action was Illinois and Nebraska in overtime. Illinois sneaking out with the dub. Heartbreak for the Cornhusker fans. Still can't win a game as a ranked team, unfortunately. But we'll talk about in the games to come. But I think Illinois is a team, man.
Or no, man.
Especially who they got this weekend. We may have to do a little something about that one. I got a feeling. Kind of like that feeling last year with the Texas Alabama game type feeling. That's what I'm kind of talking about right now. And it's a big one too. It's do you know who they play, big boy?
I'm guessing Ohio State if you're talking like that.
Penn State.
Oh, Penn State.
Ranked number 9.
Listen to this. Number 19 at number 9. Spreads 18.5.
18.5.
Money lines plus 600 Illinois.
It's at Penn State?
It's at Penn State, yeah. That's why, but
we'll have to talk about that one.
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
4 points.
There's a lot of points.
Let's see who else had a big one. Missouri was close to Vandy.
Yeah.
Missouri won by 3 in double overtime.
Yeah.
And I mean, top 10 team. They've struggled the last 2 weeks, though. Struggled. Utah, definitely the clear favorite in the Big 12 now. Beat Oklahoma State by 3, 22-19 at Oklahoma State without Cam Rising. They have to be the favorite in the Big 12, right?
If Cam comes back.
Yeah. I mean, even without him, man.
I mean, without him, their defense, I didn't realize how good their defense
bro.
are.
Yeah.
The defense is. I mean, they held Ollie Gordon to 42 yards. That's like some Texas defense numbers in the Big 12 championship.
Ollie sucked this year so far, but even their running back 25 carries for 182. I mean,
well, he got gonorrhea, so he's still fighting that. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to run the ball when you got gonorrhea.
I mean, and
I can't believe they let that get out, man. Yeah. That's messed up. That's wrong, dude.
Their schedule is pretty favorable too coming up. I mean, they got Arizona and Arizona State, which they're decent, but then TCU, then Houston, terrible. Then big game versus BYU. That's another team. BYU is 4-0, ranked for 22.
Who they beat the freaking dog crap out of Kansas State.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did.
I mean,
Big 12 is really interesting. Big 12 is one of those Power 4 conferences that you're like, that you kind of want to watch because you got those teams in there who are UCF's undefeated. They got a big game this weekend against Colorado at UCF, I believe. So we'll talk about that one. Any other college games from this past weekend besides Clemson?
I was about to say Clemson, NC State. NC State got exposed.
Yeah, they didn't have their starting quarterback, though.
Still, though, giving up 59 to Clemson. Cade Klubnik, 3 touchdowns.
Hey, you know what I think about Cade Klubnik now?
What do you think about Cade Klubnik, big boy? Let the world know.
I think he's the man. I think if he was at UT right now, he'd be doing the same type of deal that Quinn is.
So if you got
Big Boy, just so everyone knows, Big Boy wanted Cade Klubnik coming out of high school instead of
smoked him in the state championship. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's also Westlake, though. So
yeah, and Cade was the MVP of that game. I think maybe. Actually, you know who might have been the MVP is Taff. Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
If you got to pick one right now to start a team with, who are you picking?
I mean, start a team. I mean, I'm gonna go with Quinn just because he's at UT already. But I like Cade, man. I like him. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, the ACC is now down. Apparently, all of a sudden, Coop. I tried telling you Big 12 is better than the ACC. Damn. We tried telling you that.
Yeah,
Did I
Florida
not?
State is
Well, who said
officially
who
out.
said that they weren't?
Remember you weren't on the pod that one time. It was just me, Kobe, and Big Boy. And I was asking you whenever the preseason rankings came out, who was better, the Big 12 or the ACC? And we all said the Big 12, and you said the ACC.
Well, I think the Big 12 is better. Like
Coop
as a
doesn't
whole.
remember this whenever he's not even close.
No.
Huh.
I think the
Put
Big
those
12
in your little notes.
I think the Big 12 is better, but then okay, hold on. Miami can go beat any Big 12 team right now.
Utah could give him a run.
I think Miami could beat
Miami's
any Big 12
good,
team right
man.
now.
They're good.
Cam Ward is good.
That's my point.
He's gonna be. He'll probably be in New York also.
Cam Ward is good. He's the most relaxed quarterback I've ever seen in the pocket.
Travis Hunter.
Did you see that?
To me, right? Yeah, I saw that. That was smooth as heck, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, Travis Hunter. I love Quinn, but he'd have to do some great things to get past Travis.
If Travis stays on what he's doing now, there's no one else should deserve to win besides him.
Agreed.
I don't care what else you do. The way
He's their best player on both sides of the ball.
Insane. He's gonna be a top 3 pick. Now, what position? I think more people
he goes
say
cornerback.
Yeah, more people are saying corner, just because there's wide receivers like him in the NFL. There's not very many corners like him in the NFL, especially with his wide receiver background too. I mean, that's just a game changer, bro.
He can catch so good. Like a lot of those cornerbacks that it's a tip ball is going to be a pick for him.
And he knows all those routes. I mean, he would just play cornerback like a damn wide receiver, like he's the one running the route.
Yeah.
But
seems like a good kid too, man.
Yeah.
Seems like he just chills at the house and fishes and just whatever.
He's always on Twitch.
TikToks.
Shit.
Is he doing like he's on the TikTok?
I think I'm pretty sure he's engaged too.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep.
But looking at college this weekend, we'll go back to recap NFL second part. But college this weekend. Let's see what big ranked games we got. Miami's plays Friday night, but they got Virginia Tech.
Is it at Virginia Tech?
Oh, it's at Miami.
Yeah, no shot.
Spread's 19. We already talked a little bit about Texas. Feel good there.
They can do Illinois, Penn
State. Good to go. They should keep going. Ole Miss, Kentucky. Let's see if Kentucky, what they'll show. If they'll show up like they did against South Carolina, or they show up against like they did for Georgia. It's at Ole Miss though.
We're going to see what really Kentucky's defense is and what Ole Miss's offense is, and that's a good thing to see because we have to play Kentucky. So
Big 12 matchup: Oklahoma State at Kansas State. Both teams coming off their first loss last weekend. 11 a.m. kick.
Avery Johnson did not look good.
Oh,
yeah, it's Kansas State minus 4.5 as well.
Really?
Listen to this.
I think I'll take Oklahoma State on that one to run the ball down their throat.
Yeah. Listen to this next one. Big 12 still. Number 22, BYU, right? Coming off destroying victory over Kansas State.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
At Baylor. Baylor's -3. Baylor's 2-2. BYU's ranked number 22, 4-0.
It's at Baylor, you said?
At
Baylor. And Baylor's -3 points.
Huh?
What do they know?
What do they know?
That is weird.
After that dominant of a victory last weekend.
And Baylor should have just beat Colorado at Colorado this week, though, too. But
well, they didn't.
I know, but a Hail Mary,
Yeah, it's not like Colorado's very good though.
Right.
I think the Mormons are going to beat the Christians on this one, boys.
No,
I don't know.
Weird.
Mormons versus Christians.
BYU +145.
What's the over under?
45.5.
45.5.
It's interesting.
That's an interesting one.
They have to think about that BYU +145, pairing that with the Illinois +700 right there.
There we go.
That could be
Let's
pretty
retire.
Another ACC. Number 15 Louisville at number 16 Notre Dame. That's a big one for Notre Dame.
I haven't
Notre
watched
Dame is
Louisville
minus
this
6.
Yeah,
I'm not
Notre
gonna
Dame's-
lie.
Huh?
I haven't watched Louisville this
I
year.
haven't either. I didn't even know they ranked number 15. From being honest, who they played? Let's see. They played Austin Peay, Jack State, and then they beat Georgia Tech 31-19 last week. So nobody.
Be the first row matchup for them as well.
But it's big for Notre Dame because they lose this, you can count them out of being in the top 11. They can't
Yeah.
lose. So I don't know.
Does Notre Dame play Clemson this year?
Ooh, let's see. Notre Dame, nope. After this, they got Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, USC.
USC.
The very last one. That's all they got.
Yeah.
Those are the last 2 ranked games they have at the moment. So I'm saying this. They have to win this one to have a chance to go into that last week versus USC.
Is Florida and Florida State going to have new coaches next year? Florida's making a
yes.
comeback. I mean,
I think Florida, yes. And then that DJ Lagway will transfer to either SMU, TCU, OU if Hawkins flops, something like that.
what if Florida makes the comeback? They got such a tough schedule, though, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's bad.
So difficult.
I mean, them
I think
and
it's the
OU.
hardest one,
OU
actually.
may go 6-6.
Yeah.
They're 4-1. 3-1.
They're minus 2.5 at Auburn, though, too.
3-1. They're the only 2 reasonable games they have is Auburn and Maine. OU.
Well, in Texas.
I said reasonable, like chance.
Oh, reasonable.
Yeah, like they're going to be favored into the remaining games.
Because they have a pretty tough schedule, also.
Yeah, they go Auburn, Texas, South Carolina. So South Carolina could be the 3rd one. You don't know.
Is it at South Carolina?
No, it's here in Norman. So you don't really know what South Carolina you're going to get. They could be ranked by the time. Who knows? But other than that, I mean, then they have at Ole Miss and Maine at home. But their last 3 games are at number 11 Missouri, which who knows what Missouri is going to be. But home against number 4 Alabama, then at number 14 LSU. I mean, so you're looking at 7-5 if you can beat Auburn, South Carolina, and Maine, or 6-6. Sorry, 6-6. If you win those 3. So no, I mean, like we talked about earlier, it's a big game for both Auburn and OU this weekend. 2:30 kick.
I think Auburn's going to win that game.
In Alabama. Maybe a little rain.
Little rain.
Rain. For
I have a sneaky one for y'all.
Can Auburn run the ball? Are they able to run the ball? If they can run the ball. Let's see. Against Arkansas, they had 12 carries, 67 yards. Their best guy had. New Mexico, 20 carries for 152. Cal, 12 carries for 68. I don't know. 2 of them we can run the ball, but
What's your sneaky one?
yeah, what you
Got
got?
Arkansas versus A&M in Dallas. A&M is -4 in Dallas. That's an interesting one.
It's going to be a lot of running quarterbacks in that one.
Yeah.
Arkansas's quarterback's pretty.
Yeah, you know who the
Yeah,
running back
athletic.
is.
Huh?
You know who Arkansas' starting running back is, right?
Yeah. He went to
He's
UT.
good.
So Quinton Jackson, quarterback.
He's big. He's
Did it-
huge.
He didn't lead the team in carry or in yards last weekend. So
He's
He
the one
already
that
has
went to
some
Washington or
bonus
to Oregon. Where'd he go? Washington?
Utah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Utah.
But no, he's been having a year.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 233. He's huge.
He always knew he was going to be a running back.
Yeah,
Kind of like Rojo.
a little bit.
He needs that starting job.
Who, Rojo?
Yeah, I just don't know if they're going to give it to him. They paid
He
Swift.
didn't play too much last game when I was watching the red zone.
He had the most. He had the most yards.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't show that part.
But they paid Swift too much money. That's why.
Yeah.
Who else? Obviously, we'll talk about Georgia Bama in a second. We'll talk about that one last. Ohio State at Michigan State. Michigan State 3-1. Line's 24. It's at Michigan State.
Yeah. Ohio State's gonna roll.
You think so? Not even a little close. Ohio State really hadn't played anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Really the last two is we got Illinois at Penn State, 6:30. At Penn State, 4-0 versus 3-0. We already said Penn State minus 18.5, 47.5 over under. Illinois money line plus 600. I don't know. I just have that ever since I saw that they were playing this week. The first thing that came in my head was Illinois was going to win.
Go with it, man.
And I don't
Those
know
are usually the good ones.
I don't know why.
You're like, oh, what?
Either they're going to win or they're going to lose by 50.
It's at Penn State?
Yeah.
It's tough.
Illinois'
Is it a
defense
night
is
game?
good.
6:30. But to be fair, Bowling Green was at Penn State. And they shit the bed.
Yeah.
Obviously, and Penn State played Kent State last weekend, so that doesn't count. I don't know. I just got a feeling.
Go with it.
I
Go
think
down.
Illinois' defense gets them. So, Kate, I think you should go with it.
Brooks has 2 picks. One of them a pick 6. Throws the horns up.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's how he would do, huh?
We'll see what happens. That's big. Could be Big Ten matchup there. But obviously, game day. You know, everyone's going to watch. May break some television viewership records. 6:30. Number 2, Georgia at number 4, Alabama, Tuscaloosa, UGA -2 currently. Over under 48.5. What are thoughts on all these that game right there?
I'm taking all Alabama to
Are
win
you?
that game. I am. As a Texas fan, I want Georgia to win because it's just going to be I want to be a 1-2 matchup, you know, when that game comes. But I think Milroe is going to have it for him. I don't think Georgia has seen a passing attack like this yet. And I think Milroe is going to get it done and bring home the W.
Kalen DeBoer is a great coach, man. But I think Kirby's better right now.
Halen hasn't had a game like this yet, man.
Yeah, he's in the national championship.
Yeah, and we saw it happen.
He beat Texas. I mean, he's a good coach, man.
Yeah.
Coach, but
He does a lot more with less. So, I mean, he has top tier athletes now.
for sure.
But
And
I like Kirby. I'm gonna go with Georgia. What is it, 2?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a very close game.
And the difference between Milroe this year and Milroe last year is Milroe has 8 touchdowns so far and 0 interceptions. Last year at this time he had, I don't even know how many interceptions. He had like 3 against Texas or however many that was. But so he's
And then he got benched, and then I mean it was a whole deal last year, you know.
yeah.
But
It's gonna be a big one.
huh?
It's gonna be big. I mean, especially when you're thinking about top 2, because there's no divisions this year like there had been for the SEC whenever they were used to it. So it's like top 2 go.
You think the winner of that goes number 1?
No,
You don't think they'll if Texas rolls?
if they
I don't
do what
know,
they're
man.
supposed to. If they do what they're supposed to, they won't move them.
I don't
Really?
know.
Maybe if Georgia wins, maybe
Yeah.
not Alabama though.
And I think they would deserve it. I think whoever wins that game will be number 1, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah. The SEC, man, everyone's talking. It's going to be tough. to
You
make
don't wanna
that
lose.
SEC championship.
You don't want to lose. It was like
No.
Sark was saying the other day. He was like, because they asked him about some tiebreaker thing, and he was like, "Yeah, I just want to win out." I started reading the tiebreaker rules. I got to page 2, and I was confused. I don't know if there's tiebreaker. I don't know who gets in. So how about we just win them all? Because I mean, just think about it.
No doubt.
Say Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia beats Texas. How does that? I don't even know how that. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, and then what does Missouri do? And what
Ole Miss.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee, because I mean, Texas.
I mean, a lot of those will play each other, but it is going to be.
Georgia will have to play. So they have Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. So Georgia has all 4.
Yeah.
Georgia has all Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. And it's all Texas game is October 19th. Ole Miss is November 9th. Tennessee is November 16th.
All at the end, huh?
Back to back.
And 3 out of those 4 are on the road. The only one at home is Tennessee.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Well, which is how they should. That's how it should
This
be.
is a big one. This is a big
That's how
one.
it should be.
Let's see.
I mean,
Let's check.
Georgia's top dog, man.
Let's check
That's how it should
Alabama.
be.
Alabama. So obviously at home against Georgia, October 19th. So when Texas and Georgia play, Alabama's at Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're at Tennessee. And then after that, they got Missouri, then LSU. So,
Don't get twisted. LSU will jump up and bite somebody too at the end of the year. They always do something like that.
So schedule wise, I think Texas is definitely has the more favorable remaining SEC schedule with how the teams are now. Who knows what they may be in 2 or 3 weeks, but with how the teams are ranked now, Texas definitely has a favorable schedule there.
Yeah.
I just don't want to play the same team multiple times because then that's when it gets scary. You know.
I just want them to make it, man. I really want them to win the SEC. That's the biggest deal. But just take it a week at a time, man.
SEC and get the first round bye, playoff, and then
can't nobody say anything.
Whatever happens, happens.
Ever again.
Obviously, like for them to make the national championship at least this year.
Oh, fuck that. We're winning them natty this year.
Let's go.
Any other college?
That's it for me. Let's go to big boy football.
Big boy football.
Yep.
What's old big boy football over here? Cool.
NFL.
Texans losing 34-7.
Hey man, that you're gonna have games.
Hey, I wonder if Sam Darnold went over to CJ and told him, "Hey man, don't worry, keep your head up, keep fucking balling, man. You'll get it."
He probably did.
Yeah.
You know, he probably did.
No, he didn't because he knows.
CJ was just trying to be a good man, good guy, man. Come on.
No, that's what happened. What that was his little ego got checked.
No, yeah,
because bull. He thought he was, God's gift to quarterbacks, and welcome to it, buddy.
Thoughts on NFL Week 3? Top 3 standout teams from a positive perspective from Week 3. From
Minnesota,
what you watched, yeah, that's what I was
Minnesota. You better watch out, man. Who would have thought that?
Minnesota. I'm gonna also say the Bills.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that the Jags. I mean, they're supposed to be good this year, but I mean that was a beatdown.
Trevor Lawrence is horrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he played for the Cowboys, it would be
he got paid a shit ton too. He got paid a lot to suck.
But hey, it's one of those things.
Who are you gonna get, big boy? Who are you gonna get?
Well, with him, it's a little different. He ain't done what Dak's done. So
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, before you say something, big boy, because I know you're gonna say something here. Pittsburgh's defense, specifically, the best defense in the NFL, in my opinion.
Hey, they're winning, man.
They're good.
I think they need. I got Nas in one of my fantasy teams, and need him to do a little better. But I'm glad for Fields, man. I really am. And they already said that he's probably going to start this week too. So I don't know how you can give Russell the starting job if
You can't.
when he comes back.
You keep winning. You can't. I don't care how good your defense is playing. You can't. I think the one is
Saints.
obviously. Let's
Yeah,
see.
they just lost though. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Packers, honestly. I mean, yeah, they lost week 1 to the Eagles in Brazil, but they've looked good the last 2 games without Love, man.
Well, Malik, yeah.
Without Love, they've looked good.
See how long he's out though,
We'll
because
see.
that's
Yeah.
that a lot. That only lasts, only so long before they figure it out.
Yeah, and another one too is Commanders. I think, honestly, I mean, their offense looked good.
Daniels was slinging
Bro,
it. He
they've
was
scored-
slinging it.
They've scored on every single offensive possession the last 2 weeks.
Jalen's
Every
balling.
single one. Every single, because last week it was 8 field goals is what they had. They scored in every position though.
That's
Possession.
crazy.
So we'll see, man. They're I like him definitely. Now it's 3 teams that are going down. Obviously one's got to be the Dolphins for sure. They're gonna struggle.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to
But my
happen.
thing
there.
is like how Tua's an injury prone guy, and how do you not have a good backup quarterback? Like Skylar Thompson is not good, and he's the second string. Like Tua's always going to get hurt. Like how do you not have one of the top backups in the league?
Call Colt. Get Colt off the couch. Say, look, you can go back to the Big Ten Network or whatever later on. We need you, Colt. Let him come in and go to the Super Bowl.
I just don't. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because they're bad,
yeah.
and their receivers are just getting pissed off. You can tell, man.
Oh yeah.
They scored 3. I mean, they literally scored 3 points against the Seahawks. This week.
Seahawks pretty good too.
Yeah, it's
now.
pretty good too.
Yeah.
Seahawks pretty good too.
I think another one's the Bears
Yeah, we'll see.
going
Not
down.
something.
No, I mean on being.
Oh,
back.
no.
Oh, going down?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not high on them. I think Caleb's just gonna have to take his lumps, and they're gonna have to figure it out, man. Because
Carolina's bad.
he's gonna have to learn.
Oh.
Lions, they've been squeaking them out.
Yeah,
Hey, watch out for the Jets.
and the Rams.
Aaron Rodgers starts going. I watched a lot of some of that Rams game, man. It was I don't know. I'm just glad they came back because that was my lock of the week. So I won my money on that. But about 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, I was like, well, there's no shot. And then they ended up coming back and winning outright. So
Yeah. Well, let's obviously.
watch out for Jordan Whittington now. He had 3 catches last game.
Yeah, he did.
He's out there blocking. They're gonna help him out with Cup and
Okay.
Puka out. So
Obviously, the Ravens had a nice victory. Ended up being close. Wasn't
That was
really
a fluke.
close until the end.
that was a fluke.
Eric Henry running all over the Cowboys defense, who after 3 weeks has the worst rushing defense in the NFL stat wise. I just saw before we got on this as well. He was kind of showing Jerry, he could have just broke out $6 more million and he could have paid me, man. I mean, there were some of his runs. I did not know he was that fast,
Oh yeah,
especially for his age still. I was like, what are we doing?
he's just a different person. He's even like the elite of the NFL guys.
They said he spends
Just
$250
thoroughbred.
grand a year on his body. $250 grand a year on his body.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, it's the stuff that we said in preseason is their issue.
Their defensive line is not good.
Yeah.
That you don't have a running game. I mean,
No.
it's non-existent.
They don't have
Like,
another target outside CD, but I feel bad.
No
for
target
CD,
outside
bro.
of
Well, Ferguson came back and had some catches,
Yeah.
but
he
Still,
was the
another wide receiver.
leading receiver, actually, was
Yeah.
your tight end. Yeah.
And I did saw a thing too of all the free agent like running backs that they could have signed. I saw a thing with all the ones where they signed and like how much they signed for. And in the Cowboys like price range, what they paid Zeke, there was only really one running back on there that has had like a good year so far, and it's JK.
and who did I tell them to get?
Yeah.
Who did I yell about all off season? Go get J.K. Dobbins. You can get him for cheap because he's coming off injury. He's from Texas and he's a dog. Like he just got hurt. He got caught in that contract time when he got hurt. So yeah, it's no, well, let's go get Zeke, you know. Fucking Chewbacca running the fucking ball. I mean, he's, you know, I love him, but guy, he's what? How old is he? He looks like he's 67. Overweight.
Oh my gosh. He's 29, but yeah.
Yeah. In dog years, he's fucking 87, you know.
Dog years.
It's just, it's
bad.
whatever, man.
Hey, they showed some fight though.
They did. And Dak did the same thing in the playoff. Like I said, like,
Listen,
we
gotta stay on Dak's over on his yards and passing attempts every week for the next couple weeks, because
might as well, because what are they going to do?
They're going to be probably having to come back in majority of their games, and even if they're not having to come back, they don't have anyone to hand it off to, so he's still going to have to keep passing it.
Yeah.
So just hammer.
They might as well not even try to run the ball.
No, just hammer his passing attempts.
Why even try it?
I mean,
until your damn arm falls off.
He already had 51 attempts this week.
He needs to have 76.
Oh man.
It's a shame, man. And you got Jerry talking about dude's dick size with Jamie. With Jamie, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Well, hopefully, we'll kind of lead that in. Obviously, they're the Thursday night game this week in New York at the Giants.
And the Giants are turning it around too. That's the sad thing. They can run the ball.
Yeah, that can be an interesting one right there. You can't lose to the Giants.
Listen, with the way it's looking, Dallas is going to be fourth place in their division. Because Washington's looking like, you know, God knows. Philly's Philly. I mean, they're going to stop Saquon, you know?
We need to remember that. That's what we need right there, actually. Saquon.
I mean, you know, it is what it is, bro. If you don't make any improvements on where you're not good, you're not going to be better than you were. Yeah. You're not. You're not going to be better. So, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess.
I was talking with one of my buddies, like, I think for Jerry to realize, like, that there's problems whenever fans, like, actually stop showing up to the Cowboys home games. Do you think, how bad does it have to get for fans to stop showing up?
They haven't in the last 25 years. So why would they start now, brother? Yeah. Why are they going to start? Like I said, Jerry knows, hey, my franchise is worth $10 billion. I make how many ever tens of millions of dollars a year. It don't matter. I got 3 rings. I'm in the Hall of Fame. What do you need?
Saquon's doesn't play on the Giants, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's with Philly.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't say he played for the Giants. I said Philly.
Yeah,
Singletary.
It's even worse. How did the Giants let him go in division? I mean,
hey, Singletary, he's been having a.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He had 95 against Washington and 65 against Cleveland.
And you know who went off against Cleveland too? Malik Neighbors had good 78 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, that's the number 1 fantasy wide receiver right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
He may have a day against that secondary.
With Daniel Jones at quarterback.
If he can get the ball.
I think the secondary is still decent, man. But you can just run the ball all day, and then they're going to have to bring people down. And your linebackers, I mean, they're okay. It's just again, like last year. Oh, what'd you need? You needed a linebacker, which we got one, and he's decent. He's old. So, you know, and you need a defensive line, which you didn't really get anybody. And you need a running back, which you got Zeke and, you know, other whatever his name is. Fucking, I can't even think right now. I'm so flustered.
How's the Giants' pass defense?
I don't know. Can't tell you. Look it up.
Let's see what they've done.
Pass the ball 72 times. We're going to get something.
So last week they played the Browns. Obviously they won. Deshaun 21 for 37, 196, but that's Deshaun.
Yeah.
They lost to the Commanders. Daniels 23 for 29, 226. Then they lost to the Vikings. Darnold 19 for 24, 208. It's not too many yards that they're giving up.
Yeah, but look how many times they're passing the ball.
Yeah, half the times that Dak's gonna throw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
At
else?
least you have your horns, big boy.
What other NFL games this week?
And my fantasy teams. I'm undefeated in one of them.
I'm proud of you.
What other NFL games this week? Are we looking at?
I don't know who's playing. I haven't even had a chance to look at anything. It's Tuesday. I'm used to doing this on Thursday.
Bills, Ravens this week at Ravens. Ravens minus 2.5.
Ravens minus 2.5.
Yeah. No. I mean, Ravens could very well be 3-0. So they're 1-2, but they could be very well 3-0 right now.
Yeah, they could be 0-3.
Okay, but like,
I mean, my sister could be my brother if she was born with balls. I mean, what are we talking about?
No, but they lost to the Chiefs by 7, lost to the Raiders
by a foot. Yeah.
Yeah, by a toe.
A toe. Yeah.
Yeah. They lost to the Raiders by 3, and then they just beat the Cowboys. Like
Vikings at Packers. Packers minus 2.5.
Yeah.
Is Love coming back, or we don't know?
I don't think they've said.
I don't
think so.
Man, they just not respecting Minnesota at all. Then, especially if it's Malik.
And Darnold's fine.
Darnold's balling.
Yeah, he's not hurt either. I don't know.
At Green Bay. Green Bay minus 2.5 as well.
This one. Saints at Falcons. Falcons minus 1.5.
Yeah, they must not think that Saints kind of came back to earth.
They did.
Yeah. So
they score a lot.
they didn't last game.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of Eagles, too, Eagles at Bucks. Eagles minus 2.5.
I think Eagles roll.
The Bucks struggled last week. They came back to earth too. Baker came back to earth.
Yeah.
Jacksonville could very well start off 0-4.
Who are they playing?
At the Texans.
At who?
At the Texans.
Jags all the way. Jags by 30. No.
Yeah.
But like Kobe would say, probably Jacksonville always plays them tough at, Houston. He'd bring up some excuse like that just in case they lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
we need to get Kobe on here, bro.
He's too good for this podcast anymore.
Do we think the Panthers are going to be different with Andy Dalton?
It showed they were.
I know.
I mean, they look like a contender.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
They play the Bengals this weekend.
Bengals are must win, man. They're 0-3. I mean,
but their Bengals are minus 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, Joey B's probably just going to be on a war path.
It's must win for Bengals and Jags. You can't start off 0-4 and make playoffs.
Yeah, but who expects the Jags to do anything?
You can't. I saw a stat. It's under. Alrighty, it's already under 10% that an 0-3 team makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, it's 0-2. You start off 0-2. It's not good. 0-3.
Yeah.
And in that division.
Yeah.
Joey B's done. He shouldn't have dyed his hair. That's what he gets.
Shouldn't have dyed that hair.
Keep the locks and keep it rolling, man.
There's a lot of weird small lines. Steelers at the Colts. Steelers minus 1.5.
I think the Colts win that game.
Okay. Who?
I think the Colts win outright.
Okay. Another weird one. Rams at the Bears. Bears minus 2.5.
I'll take the Rams. I'm not taking.
I mean, Caleb has a lot of yards passing.
Does. Yeah.
You know,
Their O-line is just
bad. He gets beat up, man.
yeah. Commanders at the Cardinals. Cardinals -3. They're not showing faith in the Commanders yet.
Well, Kyler, he starts throwing it to Marvin, which, by the way, Marvin's doing pretty good, huh? Huh.
Hey,
Yeah.
Neighbors,
Oh,
Neighbors is
he's
playing
nothing.
better.
If he doesn't want to sign a contract for his cards, he's a bad person. The fuck up. Who cares?
Neighbors is doing better with less, I will say.
Did they win? I mean, they just got their ass beat by the Lions this past week. So he's obviously,
Lions are good.
Patriots at 49ers. San Fran -10. CMC.
It's at San Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know though, man.
Is CMC just gonna stay?
That's a lot of points for. I mean, everybody's out for San Francisco.
Yeah.
Is Kittle still out? Do we know?
I think they're just doing that because how bad the Patriots just lost to the Jets. That has to be why. I mean, they got
and plus they're traveling across the country.
Yeah, they got destroyed by the Jets, but still, 10's a lot.
-10 in the NFL is a lot.
And is Debo and who's out? That's the thing too. If Kittle and Debo,
still they're same dudes. They're all still out.
they're all
last week. Yeah.
And by the way, McCaffrey's out for the season. I want to let y'all boys know.
I was about to say, is he just going to stay out forever?
McCaffrey does not go to Germany or wherever he is.
Exactly.
He did not get news. He got told here that he did not want to get told.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think. He's going to Germany to do some blood spinning kind of voodoo shit.
But like, my thing is, how does that just happen all of a sudden? Because I just don't understand. Like, when did he get hurt so bad that? Because I was never in question until 2 days before week 1.
Because they kept saying it was a calf.
Yeah.
But then what did it affect his Achilles? And that's what I think
that
ended
just
up
happened so fast. Either that or San Fran hid shit for the whole summer. And he was banged up the whole summer. One of the two.
He was just trying not to get surgery.
I don't know.
Or he just did it training or,
it's weird.
Slipped in the shower.
It's weird.
You never know, man.
Definitely the shit game of the week. Browns at the Raiders.
Why is that a shit game? That's going to be a defensive battle.
I mean, they both suck.
Well,
The Raiders are already talking about benching
Gardner. Hey, they need to bring in the what's his name?
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, he looks like the sheriff from Superbad or Super Troopers.
Yep.
Barbara.
Let's see what else is big this week.
And my Max Cosby bet, I apologize if anybody took that. I was totally wrong.
I did.
I lost $20 on that.
And I went out of my way.
I went in $20 to win 100, and it didn't even get close.
Big boy. I went out of my way to find a clip of you saying that just to get it out there for everyone.
I apologize.
I literally went out of my way to find a clip that said that.
It was horrible. Max was so pissed off. He was so pissed off during that game. You could tell he just wasn't.
Do we have a player one that you like this week?
No, I'm not doing that right now. I got to think a little more about it.
Okay.
Whatever Dak's attempts are. Go over and take the over.
35 and a half.
Oh, he'll blow that out by halftime.
He's had 32, 39, and 51.
We can add that to our thing, actually. We should do that.
I mean, I don't.
And then I think last NFL game before we kind of finish it off is a Sunday night game. It's a big one. Bills at the Ravens. Ravens -2.5.
Yeah, we just talked about that, man.
Yeah. We kind of just did say that.
Just win.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
Yeah.
You like the Ravens to win?
Me?
Yeah, I like the Ravens.
Y'all both think the Ravens are going to win?
I don't know, man.
I'll take the Ravens to win.
I hate to say it, but I mean, Ravens need it, but
The Bills, man.
Yeah, Bills are balling.
I think they're better than last year.
Josh is balling. And you know how many turnovers he has?
0.
That's the biggest thing,
bro. Yeah.
Yes. Because that's his, like I said, all last year when y'all talked about my boy Dak, I take up for him all the turnovers Josh had. He has 0 this year so far. So that's if he keeps doing that, man, I'll take the Bills on that. Plus 2.5, you said?
Yeah.
It's a Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good game. That's a good one to end the week on.
Oh, it's great. And then 2 Monday night games again.
I don't like 2 Monday night games, by the way.
I don't like
Hard to
it.
watch.
Can't stand it.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
They overlap each other too much.
Yeah. The only way to do it is if you'd have one that's like San Francisco or, because they place, the time differences. So they can start at, 8 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock our time, and really it's like 6 there or something. But I don't like that. Stop doing that, NFL. Let me call Roger.
Call Roger.
Stop doing this shit.
Well, okay. Nice little college football preview, NFL preview for you. Any other takes y'all like going into this weekend? I mean, we're just trucking away, finally getting closer to some bigger college games at least.
Horns by 40.
I was gonna say, what's the score?
It's 35, isn't it? The line.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 35 or 38, something like that.
Uh,
First SEC game, Quinn's gonna start.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. Let's go.
Coop will be there.
I'll be there.
You gotta tell him.
who are you going with?
My mom and our friend.
Well, if you got an extra ticket, let me know.
Well, we don't. She has season tickets, and it's 3 of them. But yeah. No, we all should go to one. Although they're expensive this year.
Yeah, plus 3:30. I'm sorry, it's still a little too hot. I ain't gonna sit out there. I'd rather sit.
Tell her we'll buy the 3 Georgia tickets from her.
Shit.
They ain't selling those. I got a buddy. I already reached out a little, and he was like, "No, that ain't happening." But that Georgia game is gonna be the ticket.
If this last week was a top attendance game, can you imagine?
Top 5 all time.
I just don't understand how you keep topping it. Like there's so many seats.
They got
Like
standing room.
That is true. Actually,
They got standing room. That's how it
where
works.
standing room? The fire marshal, if there was standing room, the fire marshal would be all over them, man. But no, that's gonna be. They got to have that the night game. But then like you said, Alabama, Tennessee that same weekend, right?
and Alabama's going to be the higher
One
seed
of
than
them's gonna get
Georgia
the
because
one of them's gonna
Alabama's
get,
going to meet them.
one of them's gonna get the 2:30
Yeah. I know.
ESPN prime time. One's gonna get 6:30 ESPN prime time. They're gonna be back to back, whichever
Yeah.
order it is.
That'll be a good weekend. Little Cam will be here. He'll be sleeping. Can watch the game.
Hopefully
Right.
he's sleeping.
He'll be sleeping, not with your ass yelling. Shit.
Hey, Mama, you better go take care of him this football season.
Hey, he's got to learn somehow,
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get used to it somehow.
She sent me a meme the other day, and it was like the baby just like, why was Dad cussing so much when I was in the belly, And it's a dad yelling at the TV. You son of a bitch.
Hey, it's a fall baby. It's
Yeah.
that's just how it
It's
is.
funny.
That's how it is.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's that. I'm looking at the SEC games for that weekend, and that's what it's going to be. One of them's going to be the 2:30 or 3:30 kick, and one's going to be the 6 or 7 kick.
6:30. Yeah. Yeah. No, I already saw a thing that said that.
They have the flex. They're both the
Yeah.
same exact flex right now, and then the early game ones will be like Auburn, Missouri, or Oklahoma, South Carolina, LSU, Arkansas. They say it's for sure a night game, but that'll be like the ABC one. It won't be the ESPN one. So, yeah, it's gonna switch. There's no way
Hey, listen, no matter what, Auburn or Alabama and Tennessee is going to be Eastern time, so they need to play the early game. and Central Time needs to play the late game. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
I think you decided it right there for him.
Bam.
Tell Greg Sankey.
Yeah, like you said, it just depends who's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whatever it is, because literally that could be a 1 versus 2. Well, it might be hard to be a 3 and a 4 because Ohio State's going to be involved in.
Yeah.
And either
But it's gonna be
Georgia,
up there.
Georgia, or Alabama will have a loss.
Yeah.
We know. So.
We'll see.
Anything else before we wrap this week's up?
No.
That's it, man.
Wednesday morning for you. Coops hammering the clips. He's our clip guy now. That's Coop's nickname, clip guy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Coop. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, big boy, good? Good, man. All right. Let's have a great rest of the week. Going in for some Thursday night football action. Cowboys. We'll see what happens. They'll be able to soak nice and long for Big Boy for our next week's episode. So
I'll forget about that. It's like the 24-hour rule. That's all you got. So
all right. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in this week to the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. Until then, enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Peace.